Oh, welcome back, delivery family. For those of you who are new, my name is Kevin, and this is my lovely wife.
Leah.
And today we continue on with our top five. Leah,
Yep, top 5 series.
guess what we're talking about today?
What?
The top 5 things gig delivery drivers wish the customers knew.
That's a really good subject.
That is a good subject.
Because we talk about that a lot.
Oh, my Atlanta, we do.
If they just knew this, then maybe it would be different.
Maybe. All right, number 5. What we wish they knew.
Okay,
You ready? Number 5 is be ready to receive your order.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Why is it a big deal?
Well, for like food delivery, if they say like hand it to me or hand to customer, then it's, be there and ready to get your food, because that's taking our time to have to sit and wait for you, because under our obligation as the driver, you have to wait for the customer, and you have to, like with Instacart, with grocery delivery, I have to wait, and then I tell the app that customer's not coming, I can't get a hold of them, and then I have to wait either another 3 or 10 minutes before I can do anything with that order, whether it's leave it at the door, take a picture, or have to return it to the store.
Yeah, and is anybody paying you for that wait time?
No.
No. You're not getting paid. Instacart is not paying you to wait there and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so it's really frustrating to show up and you're not able to just move on with the delivery and get on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's part of our making money, is the time that we spend. So, like, delivery, we want it to go smoothly, keep going, so we can keep on doing
Yes. Yeah. That's a frustration. All right, number 4. Understand the driver's challenges. Okay, so somebody's getting you food or groceries, and they're on their way to deliver it. All of a sudden, there is a traffic jam. There is a work zone, school zone.
We have the train, and we have drawbridges.
Yes, we got it all of it down here. And so it's not awesome to get that text on the app that says, hey, where's my food at?
Yeah. I will say I've maybe gotten like one angry text, like, where's my food? But the rest have been like, are you okay? What's going on? Like, they're just like generally concerned, like, where are you?
Yeah. So if people that are ordering the food or the groceries just have a little more understanding that, hey, this is the real world out here. And sometimes it's a struggle bus to get through that real world at times. All right, number 3, customer service matters. Be kind and communicative.
I like this one because I talk to you a lot about how I love responsive customers. It makes, when we're doing shopping orders, it makes it so much easier. If something happens with a food delivery while we're at the restaurant and they don't have something, to be able to just call a customer real quick and say, hey, they don't have this, would you like this instead? And them answering and getting that quick answer, that makes everything better. So just having that knowledge that someone's shopping or bringing you food and communicating with that person along the way is great for our end.
Another frustrating part when we are trying to figure out somebody what they want to replace and they don't have a backup already in play, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to backup? And they don't respond, and pretty soon you just move on with the order.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to, give them a couple minutes, because really, like, Instacart only gives them like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, review it and move on. And so I try to, I'd rather like things at the beginning not be there and I have to replace them, because then I can message the customer. They have the rest of the time that I'm shopping to respond back. And then sometimes they still don't respond. And so, like, okay, well, either get what the suggested replacement is or you get a refund. So
yeah. And another thing with time management on that part of it, if the customer doesn't respond and then waits all the way till the end, and you're already ready to check out,
yeah, and then I have to go back,
and then you got to go back across the store, and these aren't little tiny stores, they're big stores.
Another thing with that is people who are adding on items at the end of your shopping time. So they're notified when you start shopping, and so they know you're shopping for them. And yeah, we go pretty fast because, we fairly have it down at this point, but still at the end, I'm like at the very last aisle and they're adding on vegetables from the beginning of the store. Things like that. So just, being courteous enough to either not do it, or if you are going to do that, recognize that you're causing a little bit of extra work, which I honestly am more than happy to do if you're going to, kind of put it out and, say, oh, here's an extra dollar on your tip type thing.
Yeah. Speaking of, number 2 on our list, we wish that the customer knew more about the apps and how very little the apps pay, right? So tipping, let's talk about tipping. I know in America, there's this thing they call tipping overwhelming, or I don't know, tipping fatigue. That's what it is. Okay. Tipping fatigue, yeah. But guess what? Big part of this job is working for the tips, right?
Yeah, because apps don't pay very much.
No,
they're like $2, $3, $4, $5 maybe, yes, at their base.
Yeah.
And usually it's more like on the $2, $3 and $2
and $3, yeah.
And so I'd say at least like 50 to 75% of our pay is tips.
Yes. And why is tipping important? Because, like you said, the apps just don't pay enough to cover your fuel. They don't pay enough to cover your maintenance. They don't pay enough to cover your time.
Yeah.
And so without tips, it's really not worth doing the job. So nobody's going to be doing the job. So if you get if you're ordering DoorDash and it's a $2 that come across the screen, or $2.50 or whatever their minimum is, we're not taking it, right? Or Uber Eats, we're not doing it because it's just not worth our time and it's not worth our financial gamble to do it, right?
Yeah, it's really not. And so I think I've told people who I've talked to about this before, kind of think about how far away the store is that you're having us go to. Like if the restaurant is across town, think about that in your tips. Think about how far we have to drive. What time of day it is. Is it peak food time 3 times a day? Is it one of those peak food times that we're going to have to wait? And then, there's a possibility that then we have to drive all the way across town. And then is your food going to still be good at that point? So it's a lot of things that go into whether or the amount of money that people are.
I saw a $16 one yesterday on DoorDash, but the $16 was for 16 miles. And there's just no way, because if I drive 16 miles to deliver that, that's a long ways to go. And then it's 16 miles back to where we need to go. So really it's a 32-mile round trip.
And that's how we pretty well view all of our orders, is that it's not just like the 5 miles or 2 miles that they're asking in the offer. It's times that by 2 because you're going there and then back. If like you're going into another busy part of town and you can get another order while you're there, that's one thing. But we usually do that, combine the to and from miles and see if it's worth it after that.
Yeah, because you never know, and it's just not worth your time to gamble and risk not making enough money. All right, our number 1, and I can relate to this very well, and you can relate to this very well. Clear delivery instructions. Clear delivery instructions. So that is a frustration.
It is. It's very frustrating.
You get to a place and their pen is in the wrong place and you're trying to have to figure it out. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're with a flashlight out there looking like a crazy man, trying to get the right address. And that's a frustration that nobody should want for another person that's bringing you something.
Yeah. Well,
how can a customer offset that?
By putting clear instructions, like, oh, I'm the last house on the left and I have this doormat on my front porch. A lot of apartment buildings will do that. Hey, I have this doormat. Or if a lot of the communities around here, all the houses look very extremely similar, so they'll put some kind of like identifying mark. Also, I appreciate the ones that, like, if I'm going into a building or apartment building, an office building, anything like that, they tell me what the building's called.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, is it this building or is it this building? Because it's all the same number type thing. I'm trying to think of other things.
Well, I just want, while you're thinking about it, I just want to point out there's one particular apartment complex that we go to, and that we just have no idea where the apartment's located because they did a terrible job. Just a terrible job of putting stuff out for people to see.
So they have building numbers. They have apartment. I don't know. It's like building numbers, apartment numbers, and then door numbers. It's like 3 different numbers that they have on the whole thing. So you have to make sure you're looking at the right thing. And then they have 2 entrances, one on each side, and you never know which entrance you should go in.
No, because there's nothing on the outside that would be an identifier.
That says this set of numbers is on this side, this set of numbers is on this side. Yeah. So that's really frustrating. You know, if they could just put on, you know, left entrance of building or something like that, that would be just fantastic. Or perhaps
the apartment managers could put some big numbers out there for everybody to identify.
But, I mean, we're talking about the customers have to kind of combat this too.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't have control over what their building managers do, but they know where to go. So they need to let us know where to go. So or like gate codes.
That's frustrating to try to get into a place and you can't get in because they didn't bother to leave the gate code for you.
Exactly. And there's some that just flat out don't leave it. There's some that don't leave gate codes because they have like a guard or they have automatic entry things. But some of them we've gotten to know now where we can know where we're going. And if there's no gate code on the thing, we can actually text them like as we're leaving the store, say, hey, I need a gate code by the time I get there. So that's, just a trick of our memory of remembering where we're going. But just some identifying factors.
So a lot of these things really are a big time suck. And when you're working on a very limited time to get things done, that could cost you a lot of money throughout the day because 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, that adds up really fast in an 8-hour day or a 10-hour day or whatever you're working.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you lost an hour's worth of work just by having to try to fight through just these 5 things alone.
Yeah, or try to get a hold of somebody to say, hey, I'm at the gate and they won't let me in.
Yeah.
And, having to deal with that whole situation, which I know a lot of people don't have gated communities outside of kind of where we are down here. But still just having a little bit of directions, even if you give us too many directions, that's better than usually nothing at all.
Well, Leah, that's it for our top 5 for today. We made it through.
There you go.
All right.
We're good.
If you would like to subscribe, we would appreciate it very much. Make sure that you share it with others.
Yeah, share it with others. We've had quite a few. I've been able to share it with other people lately. So it's been nice. Leave
a comment. There's something that we missed on what would be in your top 5. Please let us know as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So if you're delivering tonight, please be safe. Do something kind for somebody. And we will talk to all of you later.
Bye.